Russia, China, and North Korea have something new to worry about because Japan is joining forces with two of the world's superpower countries to develop an all-new stealth aircraft called the FX. This terrifying 6th-generation fighter jet will feature some characteristics of the F-22 and shoot down any aerial, sea, or land-based opposition that comes its way with ease. Join us in today's video as we unveil this deadly flying war machine. But hold on a second. What exactly is a 6th-generation fighter jet? Why does Japan want one? Who is helping to build it? And how powerful is it? Keep watching to find out. What exactly is a 6th-generation fighter jet? As technology expands, military aircraft have gradually become faster, more precise, and deadlier. They've traveled a great distance from the good old days of the first-generation Messerschmitt Me-262 jets up until we arrived at the present era of 5th-generation sophisticated fighters like the F-22 and F-35. Basically, 6th-generation fighters are the aircraft that will dethrone its current fleet of impressive fighter jets and ultimately dominate the future of air combat. That explains why several countries are scrambling to get involved in the development of these machines. Why does Japan want one? Japan is naturally one of the fewer laid-back countries when it comes to developing war artillery. However, as threats from China, Russia, and North Korea begin to look serious, the land of the rising sun is taking urgent steps to guarantee its safety. But despite these endeavors, the Chinese and the Russians still have the upper hand. For every fighter jet that Japan owns, the People's Republic of China has approximately 10. Additionally, Japan has 154 warships, including 2 revamped aircraft carriers. China, on the other hand, operates the world's largest fleet of war vessels with 355 warships. Aside from having more weapons than Japan, China is also believed to be leading the race when it comes to sophisticated weapons, and this is a serious cause of concern for Tokyo. Japan owns some F-35 aircraft, but they clearly don't have enough units to fend off Chinese and Russian aggression. Plus, they don't even carry enough ammunition, and they're sometimes outperformed by older jets. Buying the F-22 Raptors would have been another option, but under federal law, the United States military is not permitted to sell this aircraft to other countries. Consequently, Japan proceeded to develop the X-2 Shinshin. Despite making it to production, the cost of producing the X-2 was deemed too expensive. American aerospace firm Lockheed Martin offered to combine the technologies behind the F-35 and F-22 fighter jets to create an all-new 5th-generation aircraft for Japan. But the country turned it down and instead opted to develop a 6th-generation aircraft of its own. Who is helping Japan build it? While the FX will be developed domestically by Japanese automobile manufacturer Mitsubishi, Japan has decided to bring in some of its allies, namely the UK and the US, for help. It makes sense anyway because these two are ranked among the most technologically advanced countries in the world. And besides, it's the first time in 4 or more decades that Japan is embarking on such a daring project as this one. According to reports, 3 companies, Lockheed Martin, Rolls-Royce, and BAE Systems, have been selected to work alongside Mitsubishi based on a number of criteria, which includes system integration capabilities such as radar and missiles, high stealth and athletic ability, and efficient development technology. Lockheed Martin will represent the American delegation for the project. Rolls-Royce and BAE Systems will represent the British contingent, but the UK seems to be showing a lot more interest in it. An MOU has also been signed between the UK and the Japanese governments to jointly develop the engine of this aircraft and also explore other combat air technologies. As a result, the UK will invest a total of £230 million in the project, $30 million for the planning, digital designs, and innovative manufacturing phase, and another $200 million investment for the development stage proper. This sounds like a huge commitment from London, but it's only a small fraction of the £2 billion that will be spent in the next 4 years to develop a futuristic air combat system for the country. Back to the bone of contention now. Mitsubishi will develop the airframe design and system development. Lockheed Martin is expected to offer technical assistance, and Rolls-Royce will be tasked with developing the engines. Apart from these big three, reports say over 1,000 other Japanese companies will be involved in the production process. Case in point, we hear that Subaru will manufacture the FX landing gears. Overall, the project is estimated to cost a total of 5 trillion yen, or $48 billion. Aside from this partnership with Japan, the UK has its own independent 6th generation fighter program, same as the United States, France, Germany, Russia, and China. However, Japan's FX aircraft looks more likely to arrive first. Before we unveil the capabilities of this aircraft, if you've made it this far, make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. How powerful is it? The FX has been called different names. Some call it the F3, and locals have nicknamed it Godzilla. Regardless of what you call it though, the FX has a well-defined job description. One is to be the world's most feared military aircraft. The other is to actually deliver unprecedented damage against any opposition that crosses its path. The FX will be a high-tech fighter jet with stealth capabilities and advanced technologies to dominate future air combat. These technologies and features include electric actuators. Whether hydraulic, pneumatic, or electric, actuators are one of the most important components in an aircraft. They control the weapon bay doors and help adjust flight control surfaces like the elevator, rudder, ailerons, flaps, slats, and other elements. Electric actuators will be deployed for the FX, giving it a significant advantage over other fighter jets that use traditional hydraulic actuators. Interoperability. Another interesting feature of this Japanese 6th generation fighter jet is its ability to communicate with other friendly aircraft. Basically, what this means is that a Japanese FX aircraft will be able to communicate in real time with any of the US-owned F-35 or F-22 fighters. Just imagine how helpful this feature will be during joint missions. Furthermore, the FX will be able to control up to 3 combat support unmanned aircraft, or loyal wingman aircraft as some call it. Low weight. To reduce the weight of the FX, the heat shield and other parts of the airframe will be made from composite materials. Meanwhile, aluminum alloys and carbon fiber reinforced polymer will be used to construct the fuselage. Thanks to these techniques, the total structural mass of the FX's airframe will be cut down by 11.6%. Also, this would ultimately help to improve flexibility and heat tolerance and extend the operational range of the aircraft. Heat tolerance. Speaking of tolerance, the twin engine in the FX will be able to withstand severe heat levels of up to 3,272 degrees Fahrenheit, or 1,800 degrees Celsius. However, a special heat evacuation system is installed as part of the avionics package to complement the work of the air cycle and liquid cooling system. Additionally, this engine will be completely wrapped with a heat shield to protect the components around it. Integrated sensors and radars. The FX will also be equipped with high-sensitivity sensors and one-of-a-kind infrared cameras to aid in the detection of other stealth aircraft. There will also be an active, electronically scanned array radar system to help this beast detect and track low observable threats within a range of 50 nautical miles. Furthermore, the FX will also have some special self-defense sensors to jam the enemy's signals and missiles. Stealth capabilities. Most importantly, to maintain a minimal radar cross-section and heat signature, the FX has 17 air ducts with electromagnetic wave absorbers and an internally embedded weapons bay. Confirming the stealth capabilities, Japanese Defense Minister Taro Kondo said, "We will emphasize network functions and demand high stealth performance. It will carry more missiles than the F-35. Engine. Rolls-Royce hasn't revealed how it plans to power the FX in terms of the engine, but there are a few options. One of them is the locally designed XF9 engine, which is capable of generating 24,000 pounds of dry thrust or 33,000 pounds of thrust with afterburners. The FX might carry 2 highly optimized units of these engines, meaning the aircraft could end up with a thrust that's closer to the 100,000 pounds landmark. Lastly, the FX will reportedly have a total power output of 360 kilowatts. Japan is known as a peace-loving country, but with China, Russia, and North Korea lurking around its borders, peace isn't exactly an option. In the past, Japan has taken a defensive approach to warfare, but with the development of the FX, which could be launched as early as 2024, the land of the rising sun just might be ready to take the battle to its enemies. Should Russia, China, and North Korea be scared? Be sure to check out this video over here.